Kelly. She is accused of doing favors while Secretary of State in exchange for contributions to her family's charitable foundation for lucrative speaking engagements for her husband. In some cases, Mrs. Clinton's accused of covering up her behavior by failing to disclose the monies received. And today we learned that Clinton charities are now refiling 5 years' worth of tax returns after a Reuters review found errors in how they were reporting donations. Today, Mrs. Clinton's campaign spokesman responded saying, quote, "No one has produced a shred of evidence that Hillary Clinton ever took action as Secretary of State in order to support the interests of donors to the Clinton Foundation. There may not be a smoking gun, but there is certainly a circumstantial case. Exhibit A for Mrs. Clinton, uranium. You know, the stuff we use for nuclear energy and bombs? You might imagine it's a hot commodity. And guess who has a fair amount of it? We do. The United States of America. But thanks to a deal approved in part by Mrs. Clinton's State Department, we no longer control at least 1/5 of our capacity, perhaps more. Instead, the Russians do. That's uranium inside the United States, and its new owner is a Russian company called Uranium One that's owned by Russia's nuclear agency. So why would the U.S. allow Russia to take control of so much American uranium? Good question. And some lawmakers asked it and objected to this deal at the time, saying, why would we do this? But in June of 2010, the Obama administration signed off. Not just Mrs. Clinton, but it included her. It was a committee that includes the Attorney General, the Secretaries of Treasury, Defense, Homeland Security, Commerce and Energy, and of course, the Secretary of State. That same month, Bill Clinton suddenly received a $500,000 speaking gig in Moscow by a Russian bank that wanted this deal and badly. And the company that took control of so much of America's uranium, well, they were big Clinton fans, donating at least $2.35 million to the Clinton Global Initiative from 2009 to 2012. Donations, as it turns out, the Clinton charity did not disclose. In fact, the donations were only unearthed after Clinton cash author Peter Schweizer dug up tax records of a foreign foundation up in Canada that happened to show these payments to the Clinton charity. And in the end, with the deal signed off on by Secretary Clinton, we are looking at real questions about whether the United States of America is now sending American uranium through Russia onto Iran, a country that devotes itself to wiping Israel off the map and which has actively fought the United States in Iraq and elsewhere. By the way, we also object to them getting a nuclear bomb. Here is Bret Baier and Clinton cash author Peter Schweizer.
In this particular